CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Evan Kenny.
Crazy adrenaline, like it just flows. You're like, what?
Flash flooding in Sherwood Park. A spring storm leaves cars and yards ruined. Good evening. Severe thunderstorms rolled into the Edmonton area on Father's Day. Most sections of the city were hit with a near heavy downpour. In Sherwood Park and other areas, it was hail and flooding rain. CTV's Connor Hogg has more.
The sky opened up just as people who live on Parker Drive were sitting down to Father's Day dinner. Hail fell and water climbed up lawns as people rushed to try to move their submerged vehicles.
Crazy adrenaline, like it just flows. You're like, what?
You don't know when it's going to end. And I was happy I wasn't alone.
Crews worked to stop the rising water before it reached homes.
It's quite terrifying, and, it's stressful because, the first thing we do when we get here is try to clear the drains and get the water flowing.
Strathcona County says there was so much rain that the stormwater system was overwhelmed, and some catch basins were blocked by debris. Neighbors helped each other out.
A couple young guys from houses down the block came over and just hopped right in with their rakes and started cleaning up. It was great to see these poor guys. It was freezing, ice cold water.
Less than 24 hours after the big flood, the water is gone. The last bits of hail, driveway debris, damaged plants, and water-soaked vehicles left behind. But people who live here say this isn't the first time Parker Drive has been underwater.
It's just something that we wish maybe the county would look at the infrastructure a little bit and see how they can improve.
Randy Billick of Avalon Construction says there was very little that could be done once the water started climbing. He says taking simple precautions beforehand can buy time if the rains come.
See where the downspouts are draining. Are the eaves splashing over? Is the water running away from your house? These are the beginning signs of trouble.
Back on Parker Drive, the cleanup continues. And while some have more work to do than others, all are thankful it wasn't worse.
The water's good for the grass, for sure.
A sunny outlook in contrast to Sunday. In Sherwood Park, Connor Hogg, CTV News.
Organizations representing healthcare workers are calling on the provincial government to keep funding COVID-19 vaccinations. The province says it's about being fiscally responsible, but some doctors say it'll end up costing taxpayers more. CTV's Nicole Weisberg reports.
When I went for the shingles vaccines, I need 2 of those, $360 for 2 of those. Now it's going to be the COVID one.
The costs are adding up for seniors wanting vaccine protection.
I get it every 6 months, and even at $110, I'll still get it every 6 months. I'm not going to that hospital because I could die in there.
The province has announced come fall, it will only cover the COVID shot for the highest risk groups, those with compromised immune systems and seniors in congregate settings, as well as people on social programs.
I am not happy about it. We can afford to pay for it, but I think that it should be readily available to anybody.
Healthcare workers are also upset they'll no longer be covered. Unions representing Alberta nurses and 30,000 other healthcare staff are calling for the decision to be reversed.
I think that there really is a duty to provide whatever protections available to those people. And that makes a difference also in healthcare system sustainability. If you have waves of healthcare workers getting sick while everyone in the community is getting sick, that does not help us provide good care.
On her radio show this past weekend, the Premier said it's about being fiscally responsible and reducing waste.
And it's not insignificant. It was over $100 million, I think $135 million of wasted products.
This emergency room physician says with more people in hospital and more healthcare staff sick, this will do just the opposite.
I don't believe anybody with expertise informed them on this because there's just no question that if we are short-staffed and have to pay overtime for our healthcare workers, that's going to be a huge cost and burden that will immediately, any gains that they got from charging healthcare workers would be lost.
The province estimates each shot could cost about $110, but a price has not been finalized. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
The measles tally is nearing 1,000 cases in Alberta. Over the weekend, every zone recorded new cases except Edmonton. Our health region is still sitting at 6 confirmed measles cases. Central and Calgary zones each recorded 1 new case. There are 16 new cases in the north and 35 in the south. That health zone has by far the most cases at 647. World leaders are in Alberta for the G7 summit. The U.S. president says his administration is close to a trade deal with Canada. Canada's prime minister met with the U.S. president this morning for a discussion that lasted more than an hour. It focused on advancing the security relationship between the countries and trade negotiations. Late this afternoon, we learned the U.S. president and Canada's prime minister aim to reach a trade deal in 30 days.
We rode the legacy trail. It's kind of symbolically to ask the leaders, what is your legacy?
This was one of the several protests in Banff at one of the designated protest sites. Different groups took turns at the podium to send their message to the G7 leaders. Other than the protests and increased security in the town, Banff's mayor says it was business as usual. Clients from Poundmakers Lodge treatment centers are now scattered across other recovery agencies after a fire damaged the lodge over the weekend. Poundmakers Lodge says a fire broke out early Saturday morning. It is still investigating the cause of the fire and assessing the damages. It says clients have been relocated to partner recovery homes around the region. They are still receiving traditional and culturally appropriate care thanks to the help of partners and Indigenous elders. Parkland RCMP are searching for 2 people involved in bear spraying a Spruce Grove woman who interrupted a break and enter.
What's in your...
The landlord was sprayed after police say she confronted a male and female breaking into an apartment building last week. Police say the female suspect fled and the male suspect turned around and unleashed the bear spray before fleeing. Parkland RCMP are looking for anyone with surveillance video of the suspects in the area of Spruce Ridge Drive the evening of June 12th. Longtime city councillor Andrew Knack began his campaign for mayor over the weekend. Knack says he will not be affiliating with a new municipal political party and will run as an independent. In September, Knack said he would not be seeking re-election as a city councillor. He says he started considering a mayoral run when current mayor Amarjeet Sohi decided not to seek re-election. Knack says he plans to focus on 3 issues.
We're hearing about affordability, we're hearing about safety, and we're hearing about how we're going to keep up with this rapid population growth. We've added 200,000 people into the city in the last 4 years. What does that mean for the infrastructure and services that we need and that people expect in all parts of the city?
3 other candidates have filed their papers to run for mayor. That includes fellow city councillor Tim Cartmel, as well as Abdul Malik Chakwoodi and Omar Mohammed. Former city councillor Tony Katarina says he also plans to run. The municipal election is October 20th. Added tow trucks and smaller fines are on their way for drivers who don't move their vehicles during seasonal parking bans. City Council is trying to find the right formula for effective snow clearing and street sweeping, balancing enforcement with education. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
With more than 12,000 kilometers worth of roads to clear, street sweepers have to hurry hard to get the job done. But the grit and grime have some well-placed guards to get around in the form of parked cars.
We want to be able to clear our streets both in the winter and spring in the most efficient and cost-effective way possible. And in order to do that, we do need folks to be getting their vehicles out of the streets.
Whether it's sweepers in the spring or plows in the winter, crews have plenty of obstacles to navigate. The city has issued at least 2,200 parking tickets in 3 of the 4 winters Edmonton has had a seasonal parking ban system. The exception was in 23-24 when the number of bylaw officers was cut from 15 to just 5, and the winter was mild enough the city didn't issue a parking ban on neighborhood roads. There's also been no city money for tow trucks for the last 2 winters.
Quite frankly, they're under-resourced.
Councillors are moving to change that, giving initial approval to spend $100,000 on tow truck contracting next winter, paid for eventually by property taxes. Councillors also support reining in the parking fine from $250 to $150, with a further discount for early payments.
If we scale up enforcement, we need to match it with a fine amount that is reasonable and not punitive.
City staff are also committing to better communication with the public. They already text or email you a parking ban warning if you sign up for that service. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Edmonton Oilers say they need to be ready from the get-go, from opening face-off if they want to win Game 6 and continue their quest for the Stanley Cup.
It'd be nice to get out and play with that lead. You know, that's our goal, is to start strong and get that first one and play from there.
For whatever reason, our group doesn't like to make it easy on ourselves and put ourselves in another difficult spot, and it's our job to work our way out of it, and I would expect that tomorrow.
The Oilers practiced in Florida this morning ahead of Game 6. The head coach wouldn't reveal who is starting in goalie tomorrow. Chris Knobloch says he considers a number of factors when choosing a goalie, including input from the other coaches, management, and players.
Knowing, you know, who they feel is going and who they feel confident at that time. And then, you know, there's also the workload. Obviously, February playing 3 and 4 is a little bit different than playing an elimination game, but I think it's just ultimately who do we feel is in the best position to win us a game.
Tomorrow night's game begins at 6. If the Oilers win, Game 7 is Friday in Edmonton. Before the Stanley Cup final is even over, Oilers captain Connor McDavid is adding another milestone to his record. He will make his Olympic debut on Canada's men's hockey team in the next games in Italy next year. McDavid was among the 6 players announced today. Two-time gold medalist Sidney Crosby will also be on the roster, along with 4 others from Canada's Four Nations team: Sam Reinhart, Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, and Braden Point. This will be the first time in 12 years NHL players will compete at the Olympics. Some people who had their eyes in the skies in the wee morning hours were treated to a meteor shower. This fireball lit up the sky above Edmonton just after 2 o'clock. An expert with the TELUS World of Science says when meteors get that bright, it's usually just fragments. That means there could be meteorites scattered somewhere waiting to be found.
A lot of meteorites contain iron. It's not a definitive test by any means, but if you see a little black rock sitting all by its lonesome and you bring a magnet up close to it and it gets attracted to the magnet, it could very well be a meteorite.
It appears the meteor was northwest of Edmonton. Now, if you find any fragments, you can bring them to the TELUS World of Science to confirm whether or not it is a meteorite. There's a new place to see the works of 2 local artists. 2 new water bottle filling stations are at Remax Field, home to 2 colorful murals. Both are inspired by the North Saskatchewan River. The murals are a partnership between the Edmonton Riverhawks and EPCOR as a part of the Glass of the Sask campaign. It celebrates the city's top water source, the North Saskatchewan River.
It offers such a different perspective for EPCOR's Glass of the Sask campaign. It's something new and exciting and a way to visually represent the North Saskatchewan River in a very different way for us.
Yeah, I think it's a good kind of respectful way to honor the land and the river.
The Glass of the Sask campaign was created in 2022 to foster pride and connection to the river. Coming up next, how much the rain helped Alberta's wildfire situation. Also just ahead, with that moisture comes mosquitoes. How long an influx in them is expected to last?
We're likely to get sort of one burst of mosquitoes out of this.
Good evening, folks. Temperatures into the mid-20s in Edmonton today. We should see a fairly similar day tomorrow. A few more scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast, though, in the coming days. We'll have those details in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by Green Tree Outdoor Living, where your dream yard becomes a reality.
Despite a wet weekend, more than 20 wildfires are still burning out of control across the province. The Alberta Wildfire Dashboard shows 24 out-of-control fires. Alberta Wildfire says the rain helped crews make progress on wildfires in the Grand Prairie, Slave Lake, and Lac La Biche forest areas. More rain and cooler weather will be needed for some of the larger fires. Officials are keeping an eye on the high-level forest area.
We do have an out-of-control fire that's burning there, the Sousa Creek wildfire. It's affecting communities. It's very close to infrastructure, so we're doing everything that we can to make sure that we can contain that wildfire. It did not receive the amount of rain that we did in, say, the Slave Lake forest area this weekend.
The high-level forest protection area is still under a fire ban. A number of bans were lifted thanks to the rain. And over the last decade, wildfires have uprooted thousands of Albertans, destroyed homes and infrastructure. Scientists are trying to find new ways to use artificial intelligence to predict where fires will take place so they can be prevented. CTV's Connor Hogg reports.
Sudden, destructive, out-of-control wildfires. Large-scale events that destroy homes, landmarks, and in some cases, parts of entire cities have become a part of spring and summer in Alberta over the past decade. That's pushing a number of Canadian companies to develop ways to prevent the kinds of wildfires seen in Fort McMurray in 2016 and Jasper National Park last year.
A combination of statistical modeling, probabilistic modeling, and physical modeling to capture the fire behavior.
Some use drone mapping. Others, like Vancouver-based AI6, use complicated computer systems. Millions of simulations measure minute data, things like temperature, rain levels, wind patterns, and dryness. Jill Roberti with AI6 says software sifts through the results, pinpointing where a wildfire could start and spread.
To understand what is the probability of a fire occurring today and in 10, 20, 50 years according to different climate change scenarios. There might be cases where mitigation measure might be taken where, for example, preventive burns or fuel thinning.
Swan Hills, Grand Cache, and Jasper facing a higher probability of risk. The technology is new, but Roberti says it's already in use in several provinces, including Alberta, identifying potential hotspots to municipalities and insurance companies.
People taking preventive measure once they see their community on the map.
He says using this kind of preventative technology could also benefit people beyond the Canadian border.
There's fire all across the world. Because again, temperature is getting hotter everywhere, right? I like the idea of helping people, and this is like, I think, a good way to do it because it applies very complicated scientific concept to help people.
Applying science to help society. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
This weekend's downpour has put the City of Edmonton's mosquito treatment program into high gear. City scientist Mike Jenkins says crews are out treating sites where the insects are likely to be hatching. He says heavy rain that takes a few days to dry up makes for ideal mosquito conditions, but he says the ground is still pretty dry and that water will absorb quickly.
So we're likely to get sort of one burst of mosquitoes out of this, but then unless we get additional rain inputs, we may not see it continuing on for very long.
Jenkins says it's been a mild mosquito season so far with cooler temperatures and a slow spring melt, leaving little standing water. The city is also keeping a close eye out for another pest, the emerald ash borer. This small beetle has decimated ash tree populations in many parts of eastern North America. Now, ash trees make up approximately 2/3 of Edmonton's boulevard trees. While none of the beetles have ever been found in Alberta, the city says continued prevention is key.
If we wait until it's too late, we'll end up like Detroit, where they basically have no ash trees anymore, and they spent millions of dollars just chopping down dead ash trees.
Signs of emerald ash borer include thinning branches on top of trees and D-shaped holes where the beetles burrow. The city says it's extremely important to avoid transporting firewood between provinces, as it's one of the easiest ways for the bugs to spread.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. 24 degrees, your daytime high today, 3 degrees warmer than average, and we'll be in the same ballpark tomorrow afternoon. And much like today, we'll have sunny skies for most of the day with just a little bit of cloud cover in the afternoon. There is this chance here overnight between Edmonton and Red Deer for some showers and thunderstorms. That'll quickly blow out. Most of the shower and thunderstorm activity through tomorrow afternoon is going to be off to the north of the Edmonton area. So similar areas across the northeast where you had thunderstorms today. And then again, through the foothills, we'll see some late day development. And so the potential is there for some severe thunderstorms, primarily from around Red Deer off to the south and southeast. In the Edmonton region, the best chance would be through the early evening hours for us to see a shower or thunderstorm. I think the daytime hours should be fairly dry. 4 degrees in Jasper tomorrow morning. You'd be in the 9 to 12 degree range in eastern parts of the province. About 8 in Red Deer, 13 in downtown Edmonton. Low 20s, chance of some late day showers and thunderstorms across the northeast and parts of the northwest. 22s and 23s in through the Peace Country. 24 in Jasper. It should be in the low to mid-20s from Red Deer east into the Lloydminster Coronation region. Red Deer late afternoon, you might see some showers and thunderstorms, and that's the case here in Edmonton as well. Partly cloudy skies through the day, nice and warm once again, and then around supper time, chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Wednesday's a little different story. There's a chance in the morning that we might see some showers, then a break for the middle part of the day, and then Wednesday evening, you might see a shower or thunderstorm. Thursday looks a little steadier. I don't know that it's going to be as heavy and steady as it was on this past Saturday, but it looks more like rain as opposed to hit and miss showers for Thursday. Summer officially starts on Friday, and it will be a cool start to the new season with temperatures well below average and in the mid to upper teens through the weekend and into early next week. That is your forecast.
The cool, wet weather over the weekend didn't stop some local students from supporting families in need with a lemonade stand. Students from Ann Fitzgerald Elementary traded the refreshments for food donations. The school says this event teaches them important life skills.
Aside from the organizational skills that it took to pull this off today, they're also learning about what it means to be good citizens, what it means to answer God's call to serve others, and what it means to support each other as communities.
This is the second year the school has held the event. NAIT auto body students have been working on a piece of Canadian history. They've been freshening up a 51 Lincoln Cosmopolitan convertible built for a royal visit to Canada. CTV's Amanda Anderson got a look at the royal ride before it was showcased at NAIT's annual car show.
It's not often students in NAIT's auto body program get to work on an antique car.
Cars these days, everything is a little bit more brittle. Everything's a little bit more delicate, smaller, a lot more plastics. But on a vehicle like this, there's a lot more steel, a lot more kind of heavy-duty parts. It kind of goes back to saying how they don't build them like they used to.
About 80 students have played a role in rejuvenating this 51 Lincoln Cosmopolitan convertible's body and paint. About 1,500 hours of work have gone into the job. This is what it looked like in February, and this is what it looks like now.
It looks fantastic. The students at NAIT did a really, really great job.
Barry Cochran's dad owned the car for more than 30 years.
My dad really was proud of that car. We really cherished it.
He says seeing it now brings back a lot of memories.
It was such a great vehicle to ride in. People waved and they honked their horns, and it was a real attention seeking.
The significance of it and the history of it, it just adds even more to the coolness factor of it.
It's one of 60 cars built in 1951 for Princess Elizabeth's first visit to Canada before becoming queen.
It's my understanding that she did, in fact, ride in that specific car.
We're excited to be part of the ongoing history to be able to move this car forward, that hopefully it can
last for other generations to be able to see.
Its current owner, Ron Lyons, hasn't seen the car since leaving it in Nate's care.
So I think that he's going to be blown away with the end result of this car.
There's still a few finishing touches required before the big reveal to Lyons this weekend, and the car put on display at Nate's annual car show.
Supposed to be our centerpiece. Going to be very proud of it, of course. Going to be able to see it out in the sunlight, see what people have to say about it.
The car show runs from noon until 4 on Saturday at Nate's Patricia campus. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Country music star Brad Paisley has expanded his tour to include an Edmonton date. Paisley will come to Rogers Place on Friday, November 7th as part of the Canadian leg of his tour. Tickets go on sale on Thursday. All right, he's here in November and we'll be back here tomorrow night. That's all the time we have tonight. Thanks for watching and have a good night.